It's exactly 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. You are lying in bed, tangled in your blankets, with the harsh blue light of your iPhone illuminating your face. You are currently 3 hours deep into a YouTube autoplay binge, absorbing endless videos on how to build the ultimate morning routine. You feel this comforting, warm rush of inspiration washing over your brain. You are absolutely convinced that tomorrow, you will wake up as a completely transformed, highly productive person. But here is the brutal truth. Watching this video right now isn't the first step of your disciplined new life. It is literally a psychological painkiller. You are consuming productivity content just to numb the guilt of wasting today. Real discipline doesn't come from binging motivational speeches at midnight. And it definitely doesn't come from screaming at yourself in the mirror. It actually operates on strict behavioral and endocrine laws, biological rules that you are actively violating every single day. So, if motivation is a massive scam, how do you actually fix your broken attention span? You probably think that staying up late absorbing self-improvement content is a form of hard work. You tell yourself that finishing a 3-hour Huberman Lab podcast on a Tuesday night is preparing you for success. You feel highly productive while taking notes on your iPad, but you are actively destroying your ability to get things done. We assume that gathering information is the exact same thing as taking action. Your brain, however, cannot tell the difference between doing a hard task and watching someone else talk about doing a hard task. Researchers at Stanford University call this trap moral licensing. When you lie in bed watching a video about waking up early, your brain releases a massive wave of dopamine. It rewards you exactly as if you just finished a heavy lifting session at a Gold's Gym or completed a massive tax return. You are borrowing the feeling of accomplishment from the person on your screen to soothe your own guilt. You feel incredibly good about staring at a 6-inch piece of glass doing absolutely nothing. This is mental junk food. Consuming productivity content at 2 a.m. is the psychological equivalent of pulling into a Taco Bell drive-thru at midnight. It tastes amazing in the moment. It fills a sudden craving, but it provides zero actual nutrition for your life. Watching these videos does not burn a single calorie, and it definitely does not write your college essays or pay your Chase Bank credit card bills. Yet, it tricks your mind into believing that real progress is happening right now. It functions just like popping a heavy painkiller for a shattered leg. The pain goes away temporarily, so you think you are healed, but your bones are still completely broken underneath. By the time your iPhone alarm goes off at 8 a.m. the next morning, reality hits you hard. You sit down at your desk staring at a blank Google document, and your brain immediately goes on strike. You have zero drive left to do the actual work, because you already spent your entire daily budget of execution energy last night on the illusion of achievement. Discipline does not start by stuffing another 10-minute tutorial into your head when the rest of the city is asleep. It starts by recognizing that feeling inspired is often the exact thing stopping you from doing the hard work. Open your feed right now, and you will inevitably see some aggressive guy screaming at you from a 5 a.m. Miami gym. He is pointing a finger at the camera, calling you a worthless loser, and demanding that you grind harder. This toxic hustle culture is everywhere. And the worst part is that it actually works for exactly 3 days. You get furiously mad at yourself. You feel intense shame, and you finally drag your body to the weight room. But by Thursday, you are physically paralyzed in bed, completely unable to reply to a simple text message. Why does this happen? The answer lies inside your adrenal glands. When you use self-hatred to force yourself off the couch, you are forcing your body to pump out massive amounts of cortisol and adrenaline. These are strictly survival chemicals. They were evolutionarily designed to keep our ancestors alive when a saber-toothed tiger chased them across the ice. Today, when you insult yourself in the bathroom mirror just to finish a corporate PowerPoint, your brain literally believes a predator is hunting you. You are running on pure panic. Fueling your productivity with rage and fear is exactly like hooking up a high-pressure tank of nitrous oxide to a rusty 2008 Honda Civic. You hit the gas pedal, and the car blasts forward at 120 miles per hour down Interstate 95. It looks incredibly impressive to everyone watching, but that speed only lasts for about 3 seconds. After that, the intense heat melts the spark plugs. The entire engine block catches fire, and the car completely dies on the side of the road. You get a tiny burst of speed, followed by permanent damage. This is exactly what happens to your central nervous system. You keep wondering why you cannot maintain consistency. You think you are mentally weak. You are not. You are just putting the wrong fuel into your tank. Look at the American Psychological Association's 2023 Burnout Report. It reveals that over 77% of workers reported experiencing extreme physical exhaustion. They are experiencing severe chronic fatigue, not a lack of ambition. Their bodies simply refuse to process any more stress hormones. You absolutely cannot insult your way to greatness. Screaming at a houseplant does not make it grow faster. And pouring boiling water on its roots every single morning will only kill it. Discipline built on a foundation of self-disgust is a ticking time bomb. It destroys your mental health long before it builds any real habits. If you want to actually win, you have to stop treating your own brain like an enemy combatant. If your thumb is physically twitching right now, desperate to double tap the right side of the screen and skip ahead 10 seconds, then the standard productivity advice is completely useless for you. Gurus always say you just need to start with something tiny, like organizing your bookshelf or taking out the trash. But that assumes your brain is perfectly healthy and resting peacefully at the starting line. Your brain is not at the starting line. It is currently lying on a hospital bed in the intensive care unit, or ICU, of human attention. We live in a highly aggressive digital reality where 10,000 different social media algorithms shred your daily focus into microscopic pieces. After years of letting these apps hijack your neural pathways, your satisfaction receptors are totally numb. It operates exactly like severe insulin resistance in a diabetic patient. But it happens inside your mind, telling you to suddenly get up, completely clean your apartment, or wash a sink full of dirty plates is a terrible strategy. It is the exact equivalent of taking a patient who just got their plaster leg cast removed and forcing them to immediately run a Usain Bolt 100-meter sprint. They are not going to break a world record. They are just going to snap their femur in half on the very first step. You fail at these supposedly easy habits because your mental muscles are totally atrophied, not because you are a bad person. So how do you actually begin this mental physical therapy? You do not start by tackling small household chores. You start by learning how to execute the terrifying act of doing absolutely nothing. The ultimate micro-discipline you can practice this afternoon is not opening a math textbook. It is sitting completely still on a hard wooden chair and staring directly at a blank white wall. Set a strict 60-second timer on your digital watch. Just let the intense boredom, the anxiety, and the extreme frustration completely eat away at your skin. You have to forcefully reintroduce your nervous system to raw, primitive silence. Your hand will literally start shaking, begging you to reach into your pocket and grab your glowing iPhone 15 Pro Max. Let it shake. If you cannot survive exactly 1 minute of existing in an empty room without a constant stream of external stimulation, you have zero chance of surviving a brutal 4-hour coding session. You absolutely must rebuild your physical tolerance for intense boredom before you can ever build a tolerance for hard work. Gritting your teeth and forcing yourself to do something you hate is how amateurs operate. Behavioral economist Richard Thaler at the University of Chicago won a Nobel Prize for proving a brutal reality about human behavior. You probably think you lack a strong inner drive, but you actually just live in a terrible physical space. Your brain always, without exception, chooses the path of least electrical resistance. If picking up a hardcover textbook takes 20 seconds of searching your messy desk, but swiping open TikTok takes exactly 1 second, you will choose the phone every single time, no matter how big your goals are. Real discipline is not about fighting temptation inside your head. It is about organizing a room where reaching that temptation becomes incredibly annoying. Do you want to stop eating garbage late at night? Do not just buy a giant box of Krispy Kreme donuts. Leave it on the kitchen counter and pray for your willpower to hold up. You have to actively refuse to buy them at the grocery store. Make it so that when the 11 p.m. sugar craving hits, you physically have to put on a heavy coat, start your car, and drive 15 minutes through the freezing Chicago winter just to get a snack. When you make failure absolutely exhausting, you automatically win. You must lay down smooth asphalt for your good habits and scatter sharp nails over your bad ones. If you want to run at 5 a.m., do not fold your Nike running shoes in the back of a dark closet. You wear your gym clothes to sleep, and you plug your phone charger into the bathroom wall to turn off that blaring alarm. Your physical body has to stand up, walk across the cold bedroom floor, and stand directly in front of the sink. By the time you hit the off button, you are already halfway out the door. You can do the exact same thing with your digital life. Have a friend lock your most distracting apps behind a randomized Apple screen time passcode that you do not know. Suddenly, opening Instagram requires calling another human being and asking for permission. You stop hoping a magical, ironclad willpower will drop out of the sky to save your Tuesday afternoon. You just physically move the objects around you. You make unlocking that glowing screen so incredibly frustrating that opening your laptop to actually work becomes the only lazy option left. You probably picture discipline as a deeply solitary journey. You imagine yourself as a lone samurai meditating on an isolated mountain, fighting your own internal battles in total silence. That is a complete fantasy. The science of human networks delivers a very harsh reality check. You are fundamentally just the average of the 5 people you interact with the most. Deep inside your brain, you have a biological feature called mirror neurons. Their only job is to aggressively copy the daily behavior of your tribe so you do not get abandoned by the group. Laziness is not just a personal character flaw. It is a highly infectious virus transmitted through your friendships. Dr. Nicholas Christakis led a landmark Harvard University study on this exact phenomenon, and the data was absolutely terrifying. The researchers proved that if your close friend becomes obese, your own personal risk of becoming obese instantly shoots up by 57%. This exact same infection applies directly to your work ethic and your focus. You can set 10 different morning alarms and buy all the expensive productivity planners in the world. But if you spend 3 hours every night in a Discord server or an iMessage group chat where everyone constantly complains about their college professors, skips assignments, and wears their daily procrastination like a badge of honor, your brain will automatically lower its standards. It will sink to match the bottom of that barrel. You cannot soar with eagles if you insist on scavenging for trash with pigeons. Building real discipline does not always start with waking up early. Sometimes, the most intensely disciplined action you can take today is simply pressing the red Leave Group button on your phone. You have to ruthlessly protect the social environment where your mind lives. Cut off the people who constantly validate your weakness. Leave the digital spaces that feed you endless excuses. And finally, take full responsibility for your own future.